In a studio that's in a basement comes the epic story of how two friends changed the future of the movie podcast game forever. The reviews are in. Boys Life magazine gives the High Sci podcast 4.5 acorns. The Daily Bugle says, these guys are super legit. And Pope Francis declares the podcast as life-affirming. From the kid who tried to get smart with David Spade and got fucking old.
You're still out. You're still bad.
And the guy who can name all four Baldwin brothers.
Alec, William, Daniel, and the baby boy, Stephen.
Live from the studio of his parents' basement. The Have You Seen It podcast.
Hello and welcome back to the Have You Seen It podcast. My name is Mason Knight. Sitting across from me is the one and only Cash Kraus. But before we begin, you guys can please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. It really does help grow this channel, and we are getting closer and closer to that 10,000 mark.
We are on the march.
We are inching forward. It feels at a snail's pace, but we are getting there.
It did, yeah. The first 9,634 came quick.
It came real fast. But now
seems like it was overnight.
It was, yeah.
But man, that last 340 or whatever we need, it's a tough one.
It's getting rough.
We've ran out of people.
We have.
You're scraping the bottom of the barrel.
They said that is all you're worth.
Yeah,
it's
absolutely.
About 9,600.
But yes, please share, do whatever you have to do. Share, like, comment.
Yes.
That all kicks us up in the algorithms.
It does.
So everything helps.
Yep.
Everything helps. All right, enough of that.
Yeah, of course.
We are here for New Movie Monday.
Yeah, let's go.
I want to say,
Movie
let's
Monday.
do it.
Yeah,
why the hell
not?
not? Maybe it's a new movie, newish
It is.
movie. But I saw two new movies this week.
What's the other one you saw?
Well, I saw Saw. Well, not Saw, but Spiral.
Spiral.
The Book of Saw.
I bet that was just as good as all the other ones.
So I saw the Book of Spiral and the movie we're doing today, Saint Maud.
Nice.
Two
horror films.
very vastly different horror films, though.
You could say
they are
that.
in the same genre,
Yes.
but you would almost, watching them, you almost feel like they're just two completely genre films. One is much more torture porn, and then Saint Maud is much more psychological horror.
Yes.
But yeah, pretty disappointed in Spiral Book of Saw. I don't know if we're ever going to do a review on it, but you just always want those Saw movies to be better than they're never. Every time you see one, you're like, man, it's got the potential. It's got some potential for some crazy twists, some good writing. They're never as good as you want them to be.
Well, and we were looking forward to that, too. We thought it could be good with Chris Rock, Samuel L. Jackson.
Stupidly enough, I look forward to damn near every Saw movie just to try to capture that magic of the first one. The last 8 have not.
Never the same.
Never have been able to capture that again. But yeah, that was unfortunate. But it was nice to get a little, if you're going to watch a not so good movie, I'm going to say, it's nice to watch a pretty good movie to get you that taste of that bad movie. And that's what I thought. I thought Saint Maud was a pretty good movie. It was pretty scary, but what did you think about it?
I liked it a lot, honestly. I thought it was pretty short. I thought it was a simplistic story. This is definitely a story that you could do. COVID story is what I was thinking.
Perfect film for A24.
Yes.
It's right up their alley, for sure.
And a film that you could have filmed during the COVID pandemic, because really the cast is so small. Outside of the party
they do go out to the bar,
Yeah.
and they do go outside to the beach.
That is
so there is a lot
Coney
of
Island.
there is some there's definitely shooting on location. It's not all shot in a on a set or anything like that, or inside.
But they
a house.
could have taken a lot of those scenes out, I feel like. Like she could have ran in, they could have taken out the friend entirely, or they could have just saw her on the street or something like that.
Yeah, but you could have taken out that bar scene.
No.
You could not have taken out.
She got a little hands-on if
Wild scene. But yeah, if you don't know what Saint Maud is about, it's about a saint. A saint who changes her name from Katie to Maud. After a tragic event in her life. She goes full on religious. And now, against her best wishes, she's doing her best to save a heathen dancer who is on her deathbed. Now Saint Maud has brought it on to herself to save this woman's
wretched soul.
vile soul.
Yes.
How dare she be a lesbian? But yeah, so that's pretty much the premise. And from there on, it gets real psychological and real. I thought there was going to be much more supernatural elements to that.
Yeah, so did I.
That was kind of surprised me. Is this is a much more, like I said, psychological horror.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be much more Exorcist-esque.
Right, yeah.
It's not that.
It was a lot more grounded than I anticipated too. I really thought, for whatever reason, it would deal more like His House. You know, where dealing more with the supernatural than what this film did.
I thought, and the trailer kind of tricked you with that, where you really makes it look like it's taken place completely in that house.
Yeah.
Of her taking care of the sick and dying dancer.
Amanda,
Amanda, the dancer, the entire time. Not really. About 30 minutes are spent in that house. Not a lot of time. That being said, the movie is only an hour and 24 minutes long, so about a third of the film is probably spent in the house. But a lot of it
another 25 in her apartment.
Yeah, but a lot of it is outside of the house, which, like you said, I thought it was going to be much more of a haunted house-esque scenario where this very religious lady comes into a house that doesn't agree with what she's
doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But no, not the case at all. You can almost say there's zero supernatural elements at all in this, and if you're viewing it just from St. Maud's, and that's how I kind of take it, is that we are viewing everything from her eyes.
Right.
Is you can't take anything that's really happening is actually going on, because she is breaking down. She's already broke down by the time we get introduced to her, which is the first scene we see. Tragically, she had a mishap because she's a caretaker. I don't know if we told her about that, or like a hospice nurse.
Yeah, she worked for a hospital, St. Afra or something like that.
Yeah. It's all set in London or England or whatever. But
I guess it was a horrific place to work. According to her friend.
Yeah, like I said, she's like a hospice nurse, so she's
dealing with death
all the time. But but before she became ultra religious, where she became like the Jesus stalker. She was a big partier.
She was?
Everyone knows her around the town. Yeah, I mean, she must have been a very big partier. Yeah. Everyone knows, like, hey, there's Katie or whatever. She's known
that
for
nurse.
Yeah. But before that, and then something very tragic happened. Very gruesome, brutal death of some old lady that she gave CPR to. That
cracked her sternum or something.
My God, went right through her like a fucking
you
plank
gotta
of
be
wood.
Careful. They're frail.
You do.
Those bones are brittle.
That's why the first question I had is there's almost no way that old lady at hospice had like a do not resuscitate. No one that age and knowing they're dying has they always have a do not resuscitate demand. So no one has to do that.
Right.
Yeah. Cause what are you going to do? I mean, the lady's 100 years old. She's dying already. Now you're going to try to bring her back to survive whatever kind of life.
For what purpose? So she can lay in a hospital bed another 4
The lady's
months?
literally waiting for death. Yeah. Why are you prolonging this? And
you must stay alive.
And the lady's like, no, let me go, you bitch. I gotta die.
Choking on her own blood.
And then you just hear a crunch. There, she did it for her.
I sent you to the shadow realm.
Yeah, the nether realm. But so there is a tragic. But the most of the film is A24-esque, and that's what I was getting. It's a slow burn
for sure.
It's very. I mean, not slow in a bad thing, but it's a very. I would say even slower burn than like The Witch.
Really?
Yeah, I think so. Where I think this movie it gives you that moment at the start, and then for the next 40 minutes, it doesn't give you anything real scary. It's just setting up. It was that first, besides the very first minute, the next 40 minutes was just setting that relationship up with her and Amanda. You know, just to build something. So the end is much more powerful.
That, for me, I thought the build-up leading up to the third act, I thought they did a really good job of keeping me engaged the whole time.
Yeah, it just wasn't very scary.
No, but I mean, the story was compelling enough, and it was tension.
And it's something like The Witch is like, it was slow burn, but then every like 20 minutes, something fucking crazy would happen. Mm-hmm. In this one, it's not that. It's like once it gets to the third act, things start really picking up. Once she starts putting the shit in her shoes and whatnot, then she starts, it starts fucking cooking. But it's a slow burn for sure. But yeah, it kept me engaged the whole time. I thought it was going to be much more scary because of the trailer. Really made it seem like it was Exorcist-esque inspired. But again, you had to do that. You had to set up that relationship with Amanda and show her, and then have because like you said, you have the build up, things are going good, then you have the big crash, and then it builds slowly back up. But you have the whole thing with Amanda where things are going good, and then you find out Amanda's a lesbian also, and same Maud. She's not happy about that, of course.
Of course not.
You're not allowed to have fun in religion.
She's a Catholicist or whatever. Yeah.
Well, I don't know what she is. She is very dedicated, though, and a little intense, this gal.
Yeah, it's like mind your own business.
Well, not only that, but it's like, okay, let's pray for 2 seconds, and let's not have a complete orgasm.
Oh, my God. Well, anytime.
Like, you're not getting me in the religion this way.
It was very interesting, the way she was describing the way she feels God. She was literally describing it as like an orgasmic feeling.
Well, the first thing she says is like, she's like, well, when I pray, it feels like he's in me or around me.
Yeah. I was like, oh,
yeah. She immediately goes, in me or around me.
Yeah. I'm like, okay. Well, and then after that, after they pray and stuff, she leaves the room. She climbs up the stairs, and she's like having a full on, orgasm on the top of the stairwell.
God, dude, she's gonna ruin the carpet.
I know. She's gonna have to replace that.
Yeah, you have to get a. Oh my God, I know, and that's what I like about this film is that when those things first start happening, you're thinking, oh man, I think God might be really coming down and fucking this gal, right? I mean, you don't think at first that it's all in her head,
mental.
But then once later on, at some point, it started clicking for me that even though I don't think right at the start it's not evident that we're watching it from an audience, we're watching it from her eyes,
right?
So at one point you start to click that all this shit is just kind of her collapsing, just losing it, breaking. But yeah, we start out with the intense prayer orgasms. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, they're earth shattering.
They are.
She's got remember when she first starts praying with Amanda, she starts doing it too. Like make fun of her, and it's wild. But wild. My God, what a red flag!
Yeah, I would say
you got to be close to death to be like,
sure, let's give it a shot.
What do I have to lose?
Not much.
Yeah,
I mean, you're gonna die.
Fuck,
soon.
This girl, she comes in here, prays a little organ. Who cares? But then it starts getting a little much,
right?
Where Maud starts invading into some personal boundary space, where she starts she pretty much threatens Amanda's lover, a woman, to stay away. And if she doesn't stay away, then Amanda's soul will be damned. Yeah.
You never want a soul to be damned.
No. Right? And you never want some weird hospice nurse to corner you in your house and tell you never to come back again.
Right, yeah.
It's very odd, but you knew as soon as it was going to happen that she was never, no one takes Maud seriously.
Mm-hmm. No one.
Which I thought for sure, and this was just being kind of the moviegoer I'm going, and me thinking this movie was going to be much darker and scarier. I thought for sure Maud was killing that lady.
Oh, for sure. That's what I thought too, especially when she left the house.
They never even hint at it.
Yeah,
they never even tease this is going to be a possibility. Nope. She's not a killer. She's not. And that's one thing you don't really learn until the very end is that that's not the kind of person. She isn't just pure evil, or she isn't being taken by the devil or anything. She really does believe she's helping people.
Right.
And even when she kind of corners that lady, she's like, and the lady goes, yeah, okay. She's like, oh, really?
Yeah.
She's like, I thought it'd be hard in that because she's so pretty innocent in that.
She's like, where are you going? She's like, I'm leaving. She's like, yeah, okay.
She's like, so you'll do it? And yeah, that's the whole thing. She's pretty innocent about all that. Mm-hmm. But once she really loses everything, the innocence flies out the fucking window. And she starts realizing you can exchange pain for pleasure in the eyes of God, then she starts really enjoying herself.
Yeah.
With the tacks in the shoes that the trailer really highlighted.
Yeah, they did.
But this movie was kind of a nice mix. It really reminded me of Carrie-esque for sure, where I thought at the very end she was going to get these amazing powers from God and she was going to start smiting everyone that did her wrong. Not the case, unfortunately, but it definitely is inspired by Carrie. But the tacks in the shoes, but it's also body horror-esque. There's some body horror moments too, especially when she's peeling the thing on her hand or whatever.
Well, that was from the burn from the stove.
Yes.
Yeah.
But she peels it, and it's it always gets me. Body horror always fucks me up. But she's peeling it for like 5 minutes. It's a long scene, and she's like taking chunks out of her hand. It's fucking disgusting. Yeah. It's horrifying, but at that point, she is starting to lose all control.
Yeah, she's definitely dealing with some sort of mental disorder. Then she goes and talks to, well, we got to talk about the actual party scene. You know, obviously Amanda's making fun of her, confronting her in front of everyone that we know that you told Joy to piss off and to not come back, and you know, yada yada yada. And she's just making fun of her, and then her friends are putting on the saint outfit.
That again, that very much reminded me of Carrie, like when all the high school kids are like making fun of her, and you just right there made me think, oh my God, she's gonna get some supernatural powers, and she's gonna fucking smite all these people. Yeah. Never happened, unfortunately, but it is definitely a powerful scene for sure, and she does a great job. Morfydd Clark. Which is just, it's got to be...
Which is St. Maud.
Yeah, St. Maud. That's got to be pretty Welsh. Morfydd. What a fucking name.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. And Jennifer Isle plays Amanda Cole, and she does a great job. She's in a ton of stuff.
Yeah, and she's also a Meryl Streep lookalike.
She does, kind of, yeah.
Exactly. If you go back and watch that, there's so many characteristics of Meryl Streep.
I've seen her in a ton of stuff. I've never thought that, but I could see it. I can see it for sure. But yeah, they both do a fantastic job, and they're pretty much the only two actresses in the entire thing. We didn't even talk about that this was an inaugural directorial debut.
Yes.
By Rose Glass, the first thing she's ever directed. It's a hot start.
Yeah. It's a great start.
That's a great start for sure.
Wrote it as well, too.
Yeah, pretty impressive. But yeah, there's pretty much only two people in there. But that scene at the dinner party where they're putting on the veil or whatever it's called, and making fun of her, I thought, man, these people.
She just fucking
gotta
smacked Amanda hard, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, she did.
And then
Forgot about that.
She goes right back to the job searching place, and she's like, "Can I just talk to him?" She's like, "No."
Yeah.
Because you're lucky she didn't press charges.
Exactly. Oh, my God. And that's the thing is, like you said earlier, is she's dealing with mental trauma that we kind of don't figure out to the very end that she never got any help for.
Never.
Like, it's been just simmering and brewing in her ever since she killed that. Because at the very end, remember that her friend comes in. And because at this point, Maud
has lost it.
She's having hallucinations, auditory, visual. She's losing, but her friend's telling her, and you could just like hear in the background. I love this. It was very well shot and everything, but she's like, the friend is like, we should have helped you. We should have been there for you. We should have got you out of there. She's saying like that place was much worse than you should have been in there. We knew you were struggling and we still didn't do anything. She's revealing all these things, and it's like the last 10 minutes.
Right.
But that just shows you that this whole thing has just been simmering, and she's been slowly breaking over time. It wasn't this thing that God just came down one night and said, you got to do this. You got to say, it's just she finally fucking snapped. But I love how that was really well shot and well acted, that scene, and well written too. But we get that at the very end, and that's when she's already looking in the clouds, and there's funnel clouds, and it's a bad scene.
She's already had wings at this point.
Yeah, no, not yet. That's later. That's after.
Wasn't it that morning? It was right after she killed Amanda.
Yeah, but the friend comes in before that, before she goes out and kills Amanda. Yeah.
Wow.
That's when she's first in her apartment. Just that's the scene, remember? And then she goes right, and then she starts talking to the new nurse.
Right.
Yeah, and that's right before that scene. But yeah, she's seen. But I mean, it's after the bar scene, which is a fucking nutty scene.
Very
it leads
crazy.
to a rape, but it's wild, dude.
Yeah.
She has a wild night. But first, she gives that guy a handy in the bar. Best night ever for that guy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like 2 seconds
It was
ago.
strange, yeah, just a little nod. She's like, sure, let's do it.
Oh my God, he didn't say anything too,
No.
and that was it. And then from there on, it was just one after another of like getting dirt kicked in Maud's face. Everything that happened that night, she was trying to do. She went to the bar hoping to find any kind of human contact, and no one gave her anything. And for some reason, in her mind, her broken mind, she thought, every time you meet someone, a guy or something, you immediately got to go into some kind of sexual advance.
Right.
But
not too familiar with men.
Yeah, no. Well, I mean, even though she was, she was a partier before, so she's had that experience. But now she's completely exactly. Yeah. And that scene when like the group of friends are at the table, they're laughing, and then
she starts laughing,
and she's over. Yeah, the thing where you act like you've been part of the conversation the entire time,
right.
and hopefully no one notices. Then you're just part of the group at this point.
Yeah.
You can go anywhere they go now.
Kind of open the circle up.
Rarely does that pay off.
Yeah, rarely.
Little advice, very rarely. The group's got to be pretty drunk.
Yeah, they do.
They got to be wasted for it for sure. But yeah, and then that scene, and then she goes and sleeps with another guy, and then midway through she starts telling him no, and he keeps going and he rapes her, and then he fucking
makes fun of her.
Salt in the wound. Oh, you're the nurse. You're the nurse that everyone used to fuck.
Mm-hmm. It's brutal.
From then on out, it's a downhill slope. She puts the tacks in her shoes. She starts seeing the funnel clouds, and then big reveal, she does end up killing, which is a crazy scene. Again, you're thinking the whole time, this might get supernatural. Mm-hmm. This might get wild. When Amanda is yelling at her as the devil, she's throwing her or whatever, and you're thinking, oh my God, this is crazy. And then you start to realize, oh my God, this is all in her head, and she just murdered a woman for most likely no reason. Most likely none of that actually happened.
No, it was all a figment of her imagination.
Right. And she
every last bit of it.
Yeah. And she stabbed. And you hear about it all the time, people that murder people saying God told them to do it or whatever. But yeah, it's brutal. A brutal death scene.
I did like it because it was very surprising. I did not expect Amanda to just turn into the devil like that. But in hindsight, looking back at the dialogue and how she was she obviously apologized initially for making fun of her in front of everyone. And then she starts to mock her slowly and surely, and then mock her faith, and then mock her belief system, and then mock the fact that she doesn't really believe, and then boom, transformation into the devil.
Yeah.
And we have to talk about this too as well. In the apartment, I love that scene, and I don't know what it is. We see it in the
I was right about to bring it up.
Yeah, we see it with Black Phillip. We see it in this one as well.
It's so fucking cool. It's so metal.
It's creepy.
That was her voice. That it doubles down that she was just absolutely mentally unable. But that was her doing the voice of the devil. They just brought it down a few octaves, but that's her speaking Welsh to herself.
Oh wow!
But she's credited as the voice of the devil too.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah.
But I mean, you got to think they didn't do that to save time or money. They did that for a little kind of almost Easter egg of like kind of proves. Because either way, it's left ambiguous to where like you could think that she was doing everything for God and that there is supernatural elements, or you can believe that was all in her head. But that kind of doubles down that it was all in her head.
Well, it also kind of triples down too at the very end when it's like sanctimonious. She's about to go to heaven and she's burning herself.
For 1 second.
And then that split second of fucking agony. And then
she might have went down. She might have went the wrong way.
Well, I think
you go up and you go down. You get across.
No, I don't know what.
It didn't look like heaven that split second. It did not look like
it looked
heaven.
like you were in a lot of pain for that split second.
But yeah, exactly that kind of. And I saw a lot of people were questioning, what did that mean? What did that mean? But I love that ending. That ending really sold the entire film for me.
Yeah, it did.
Is those people around, because this all
horrified happens. And then kneeling, like praying.
Yes.
So it's like, which one?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, like you said, is to go back to that death scene is once Amanda starts saying, I don't want your religion. Still, she didn't want it. That was the real her. But as soon as she said that, now Amanda's the devil. And now I got to kill her.
Right.
Now that she's disagreeing with me, she's fucking Lucifer.
On her deathbed.
And she's got to go. Yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I love that kind of ambiguous ending as well, where the people surround her, then they bow. And very angelic.
Yep.
The flames, everything, like she's being, and then that split second is the reality of it.
Screaming in agony.
Really, she was a sick woman who went down to the beach and burned herself alive after cold-bloodedly murdering a woman.
Someone who was on her deathbed to begin with. Yeah, it's a rough go.
For no reason at all. But yeah, I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed the ending. I mean, when I say ending, I mean like the last 30 minutes. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a slow burn, but it's
I don't know.
It's worth it once you get there.
For me, slow burns a lot of the times are if done correctly and the ending pays off are my favorite films. I like films.
The thing
like
is,
this,
but the ending has to be. We've seen it countless times. The ending has to be worth the payoff. Has to be worth that slow burn. Because, like you said, a lot of times it's very easy. Because slow burn is right. It's towing the line of boring, right? I mean, if the payoff isn't good enough, and if that slow burn still has to keep you into it, it can be very close to being just boring instead of a slow burn. But this was a much more slow burn where you knew everything that was happening was mounting up to something tragic, and it did end up being a Carrie-esque moment where she burns down the entire school and kills all the high schoolers. It was much more of a personal destruction, than it is of killing everyone else. Because really, there was no bad guy in this, but Maud. I mean, she except for the guys that raped her. Well, I mean, that guy, which he doesn't play a huge part in the film, but that guy. But besides that, I mean, like you said, she was. Unfortunately, she became the bad person because she never got help. After crushing an old lady, which will fuck anyone up.
Yeah, probably.
It's gonna do some damage.
I mean, when you're around death like that all the time.
Oh yeah, but even that's a brutal way to fucking kill someone. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. In short, that's something you can always look forward to at usually an A24 film is the editing's going to be tight, and even though they weren't a production company, we
also have to talk about this too, which we haven't brought up yet. But I really enjoyed the cinematography. I thought it was beautiful. I thought there were some unique shots in this. I really liked when she's on the phone with her friend. And like the way the camera was moving, I really like that. And you see that a lot, but the style with which they shot it, I really enjoyed it because it really did make me feel like I was kind of out of it as well as I was watching it. You also have the sideways scene down the long corridor to her apartment that I really liked, and then even the upside down scene too, coming this way.
Well, yeah, and even the scene when she's like orgasming in the hall or whatever, and it like goes from this perspective to up and above her to where she's.
Almost as if like you're God looking down.
Yeah, looking down at your
subject,
your disciple. Like this is my number one. This is my ride or die. This gal, like
good thing you got 7 billion of them.
Yeah, well, I mean,
so you can pick and choose.
I think I think they gotta be with you, but yeah, the camera work was great. I thought the camera work again at the devil scene where she's talking to the devil. I thought that was great camera work too. For some reason, if you're talking to the devil in a movie now, it's got to be straight on, and it's got to like portray that you are talking to him directly across from you, because that's how the witch was too. But the whole time I wanted the devil to ask her if she wanted to live deliciously, like
like Black Phillip did,
Phillip did, and then put that weird paw thing on her. I love the witch.
It's a great
film.
I
love the witch, but
really is great.
Saint Maud, would you recommend it? It's on Hulu and Amazon.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh. They must have got dual rights for it or something.
I don't know. It's
But I mean,
think
about how weird it was, because this film was supposed to release like 2 years ago, and it didn't. Obviously due to COVID, which they ended up just releasing it straight to streaming anyway. So they probably should have done it during COVID. I think a lot of more people would have watched it.
And this is a film that it's a smaller film. I can't.
$1.4 million.
Yeah,
budget.
Exactly. I don't think this film was never going to get a wide release. In theaters. So I don't know why they delayed and waited to just release it anyways.
No idea. And during a pandemic, when everyone was at home, you figured you would have released it then because more eyeballs would have watched it.
Even a film like Midsummer didn't have a super wide release. You had to kind of go search for it. But I mean, so this film was not going to get a huge release. But I don't know. I think I think they should have just released it, because it was supposed to release in. They filmed in 2019, right?
I think 2018 is when they filmed it.
And it was supposed to be released. Oh, it did. Yeah, it was released at TIFF September 8th, 2019, more than 2 years ago.
Yeah.
That's wild.
We're just now getting it.
This is weird. I'll say this, though. This is one film to where the wait actually, I mean, most of the time you're waiting for a film this long, and it's never as good as you think. But this film, I mean, has a 94% on Rotten Tomato.
Right.
So people really enjoyed it. I don't know if the wait is 2 years long. It's not. it's not like New Mutants where you wait 10 years and the film is just very
Still
bland. Yeah, exactly. But this one, I mean, it's worth the wait, I think. And the poster is fucking awesome as well.
The one on Wiki?
Yeah.
Yeah.
With the flames behind her. She was messed up.
She was.
She should have went to a church. She would have went to one church.
Yeah.
I think maybe someone would have sat her down and been like...
One therapy session.
Yeah, and be like, no, God doesn't want you putting tacks in your shoes.
Yeah, I know. That's not the God I serve.
I don't think she even picked up a Bible.
No. I didn't see a Bible.
I think she was really winging it.
Yeah, she was kind of just
playing it by
her own religion, let God talk to her directly. You know how it goes.
Yeah, that was a weird thing. And one more small thing is like, remember she had the necklace of Mary, and they don't make the necklaces of Mary. She's like, that's weird. Like, I didn't know they made necklaces. And she says something like she made her own or something.
She's kind of just building off her own religion. All right.
She's a real L. Ron Hubbard. She maybe start her own.
Exactly.
All right. I would recommend it, though. It's
Absolutely.
It's free on streaming if you have Hulu or Amazon Prime, I think. Yeah. So
go check it out. All right. Well, that is our review for Saint Maud. If you guys like what you're seeing here, please be sure to smash that like button, comment below, subscribe to the channel, and hit that bell notification as we drop videos here every single day. If you want to find our podcast in audio format, you can find that on Spotify, iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play, and Stitcher. Our social media pages, whatever. Thanks for listening and watching. My name is Mason Knight. That is Cash Krause, and until next time.
Bye.